I am sure by now you have heard everything you needed to hear about Raleigh, North Carolina, and at this point, you're probably not impressed, or you've identified this is not an area for you. Well, let me share with you an area that a lot of people have been moving to lately. What's up, family? It's Roney Polynice here, and in today's video we're going to be doing a deep dive into Youngsville, North Carolina to really figure out why is everyone moving to that area. Now, if you're new to me and this YouTube channel, we talk about everything you need to know about Raleigh, North Carolina, so don't forget to hit the subscribe and the bell so you don't miss out on anything. And if you're actually looking to relocate here, I am a licensed realtor here, so make sure to reach out. Well, alright, let's go ahead and get the show on the road, and let's go ahead and check out what Youngsville all about. As you can see here, I've pulled up the map, so we're gonna go ahead and walk through this area with the map, and I'll be able to throw some things in there for you guys to make it more interactive so you can actually see what it's all about. I know sometimes the Google Maps doesn't do a great job with giving you real life up-to-date photos, so I'll go ahead and cover that, and so you guys don't have no issues there. But let's go right along the lines, and let's just go ahead and check out one of the areas that everybody always seeks for and everybody always wants to know about, which is how does the downtown area look like? Because quite frankly, if you see a downtown area, you'll be able to dictate what does that area even look like, how does it feel, and so on and so forth. I will say, I'll share with a story as I try to figure out which direction to go get downtown for you guys. I'll share this story with you guys. When I was actually getting ready to record this, for some reason I was like, yo, I actually want to park my car and I want to be able to get downtown just by walking through and kind of recording and doing my typical what I would do. But I will say, man, that was nearly impossible to do because how much construction there was actually going on in that area at that time. I was like, yeah, we're not going to do this. We have to scratch this off the table. So I hope that they're going to show you a little bit of what I saw. If not, don't worry about it. I got you covered there. But let's go ahead and see if they're going to show you the real life construction. Yep, yeah, they're doing it. So this is part of what you're seeing. And as you can see, right now, we're pretty much in downtown Youngsville. This is like the heart. As you can see, you have multiple intersections, stuff going on right here. Down that way, you'll actually be going towards Letty Park, and there's a few schools down in that area. If you go down here, we're going to actually talk about that, but there's going to be a festival that goes on down there. But let's just focus here with the downtown area and the construction. I mean, I don't know. I think it's needed. But I don't know what it looked like beforehand, but it looks like they're just trying to expand the road a little bit. Or if they're not expanding, they're just making it a little bit better because however it looked last time was not up to par. And I'm only seeing the progress. And you guys will be able to see the progress as well, because if you guys go to Youngsville, or actually if you're even considering it, then you will see it. Or you can just take a look at these photos, although they don't do really the justice for it. But this is downtown area, as I already mentioned. Here you'll have a ton of shops, more or less than small businesses. You won't necessarily have, like for instance, there we go, we have a few small businesses right there. You won't necessarily have your chain restaurants, your chain stores, anything in this area. You know, Youngsville really gives me that vibe of a small knitted rural community, just slightly rural, I would say. And the reason why I say slightly is because when we go check out the houses, the new construction that's going on in Youngsville, that part doesn't give me rural, but just all throughout, you'll kind of get that aspect of it. And yep, let's keep on moving through. I was actually looking for, I saw this photo, but there was one photo that I was looking for that I did not find. So again, more small businesses to the left and right of you, and this is just the downtown strip where it goes down pretty long, in which we won't go through entirely. There's the photo that I was looking for. Look at that. That's just a nice photo. I was actually looking for the artwork because I love to support those artists that do great jobs and great things. But I didn't see it. Now that when I go back, I'll be able to pinpoint it. In here, you'll have a much more, again, small businesses. That's what the downtown really is. It's just a ton of businesses for the most part. However, that's really the downtown area. I don't want to go too deep into it because I really want to just share a little bit more of a perspective for you guys, so you guys can see what that downtown looks like. And actually you guys know where it is. So again, it was, if we're not looking at what view we just looked at, it's really Holden to East Main, West Main Street, and it just goes on and on and on, as you guys can be able to see here. And so like I said, you won't have any of your big chain restaurants or anything of that nature. You'll have to go to the other cities, in which that's your closest is Wake Forest. But let's go ahead and talk about the festivals. As I mentioned, I don't want to forget about that one, which happens at the Faith Church. I meant to put to 49. Anyways, let's just pull it up so you guys can see it from the street view. And I've never been to this festival, but supposedly this is a really big festival that goes on in Youngsville. I mean, you're gonna have this entire park full, and typically what happens there, you're gonna have live music, you're gonna have food vendors, you're gonna have arts and crafts booths. So if you're thinking about moving to the Youngsville area, and you're probably thinking at this point, you know, what is there even to do? This is one of them. You can come to the festival, you can come to the events. I mean, you can see how large this parking lot is in itself, so I can only imagine what there is. There's actually like a park over there as well. There's basketball. I don't know if you can really see it, but I guess I can just take you guys there, right? But there's basketball hoops there, so it seems like a quite big event that goes on there. I'll have to check it out myself. I know the one that really happens there is the Fall Festival. That's the one that I'm really talking about here. But that's exactly what happens there. But if you're liking what you're hearing so far, you kind of like to stay up to date with the not only the real estate market here, but the Raleigh market, and know what's going on. Make sure to hit the subscribe and the bell so you don't miss out. But let's go ahead and continue with going to Hill Ridge Farms. I mean, when I was doing my research, I was like, let's see what Hill Ridge Farms is all about. And sadly, I was not able to actually get in there because when I went, they just decided to close their doors. Not necessarily close the doors for me, but they just closed the door as in like they weren't operating in that current day. And at the moment, I can already tell I am way too far. So let's see if we can catch it from this view here on this street, because I want to be able to show you guys. There we go. I want to be able to show you guys what really goes on in there, because it's a lot of things that you can do in there. A lot of family fun activities, outings. I mean, it's a great place to go outing and just have things to do with the family. I'm sure people have parties there. I don't know if you guys saw in the picture beforehand, but they have pumpkin picking there. Christmas lights will go on there. There's a ton of different events that will happen in this area, and it's pretty large. I mean, again, I really wish I was able to drive through just to give you guys a little bit more insight, but this is just another thing that you guys can do. I do have a video that I'll go ahead and share with you guys a little bit more, in which you can see in real life, real time, what is really going on there. Although this kind of shows you what it is, it's just there's nothing the same where you can't see it in real life, but seems like a lot. I definitely think it's worth checking out, especially if you're even in the neighborhood and you need something new to do. This could be a great place to go ahead and check out. But one thing I do want to harp on as I'm talking about more and more about things to do is the Letty Park. I think I mentioned that earlier to you guys already. So this is one of the parks that I went to when I was there, and I will say it might not strike you as, it might not be that eye-opening for you just quite yet. And of course they make me go through the back. Let's see if we can get it over on this side. So it may not be an area where you're like too happy about, or I will say impressed on, because I don't want to ruin it to you before I get there. But there we go. Come on. All right, there we go. We got Letty Park. So here it is, really. As you can see, it's a park for itself. But it's a park where I personally think, based off of what I've seen on my several trips to this Youngsville area, It seems as if baseball is a really big thing in here, in Youngsville, simply because every time I went, I don't know why they were cleaning up the baseball field every single time I went. So I'm assuming there's a lot of games that go on there, or either it's really active of a sport and a lot of individuals like that. But if you don't like baseball, that's perfectly fine. Letty Park has you covered, because if you go check out over in this area here, you'll see that there is actually a basketball court. I don't know if you could really see it. Let's see if I could try to get closer for you. There you go. Still kind of not there, but there's basketball, so you can do that as well. And if basketball or baseball is not, you're not a fan of either one, you can always go ahead and check out the park or take the kiddos to the park. And I will say, even when I was here, there was a lot of people. There is a trail, but the trail isn't that massive. I guess it's a good start and it's a good place to finish. But I saw a few people, whether they were walking their dogs or just walking themselves, getting their regular daily exercise. I did see a few people do that. I didn't see any bicycles, so it doesn't seem like it's that long of, like I mentioned, it's not that long of a trail where you're going to get that sort of, longevity of what you may be looking for. And I forgot also, you can't see it, but if I go all the way back there, like closer to those trees, you'll actually see more baseball fields. So as I mentioned, I think baseball is a big thing here in Youngsville. I don't know necessarily the history of it. Probably could have looked that up, but I'm just here to share with you guys exactly what's going on in the Raleigh area, just to keep you guys all informed, so you guys are fully aware of what's going on. And this is exactly why you reach out, because I'm here. Not only that, I can share with you exactly what's going on in real time. So that number that is popping up right there, make sure to give me a call, shoot me a text, email, day or night, heck, maybe even on the weekends. Always remember one thing: I got your back in this market. But I know a lot of the things that I'm mentioning here, you're probably thinking, well, there is not too much to do in Youngsville, so why are people even moving there? And that's a great question. The only thing I could think of is people want to get outside of the city, because immediately when you think of Youngsville, I mean, you guys can see it for yourself. Youngsville is not that big of a place, but you're not that far from Wake Forest, and I would say you're about 10 minutes from it. And just to kind of make sure that you guys know I'm not lying to you, there you go. You're about 10 minutes from Wake Forest, which Wake Forest is going to have primarily anything that you could really think of that you may need. If you're looking for any chain restaurants, you're looking for any chain stores to do grocery shopping, you're looking for maybe just regular shopping for yourself, you're going to find it without a doubt in Wake Forest. And if you don't find it in Wake Forest, you can travel a little bit further and go all the way to Raleigh. Let's go to the heart of Raleigh and to see. Now this is going to be a bit of a travel for you, and it's probably going to be roughly 40 to 45 minutes, especially now. During that rush hour time, you're in some trouble. That's all I'm gonna say. So you could definitely, if you're thinking about that Youngsville area, keep in mind that travel time, because not only are you getting away from the city, the fast life or semi-fast life, you get a little bit more rural, chill area. You run that risk of doing that. Now let's go ahead and check out what RTP looks like. RTP looks like during that time, and jeez, look at that. You're looking at, again, an hour, and I would just an hour because there's a lot of traffic. That's what gives this away. Typically it would be about 40 minutes, but if you're going during the hot time and everybody's ready to go, you're gonna get stuck in traffic, because this road right here going in and out of Wake Forest, it's a pain. I'm sorry to tell you, but even if you don't want to go to Raleigh, you don't need to go to RTP. You have Durham, and you also have Chapel Hill, which is a little bit further, but you do have Durham that's also nearby. So if something isn't in Youngsville for you, I mean, you're more than happy to drive, then you can always go that extra mile, right, and go to these other sub-cities that are relatively close to you. Essentially day trips out of it. Maybe go to a museum, restaurant, go to some sort of attraction in those areas. But we're not done with Youngsville just quite yet, because I want to share with you guys, as I mentioned, I was going to do the neighborhood that is currently new construction. Come on guys, just give me the Youngsville one. It's like they did not know that. And let's go to this, and this is actually an area by KB Homes, And so, like I said, you're not going to get so much a rural area here. But if you go outside this area, I mean, you run that risk. We could go ahead and take a little tour through it. But most of this is what you're seeing here. Some of it is already done. Like, I know this stuff isn't done yet. Like, there's really no construction going on there. All of this is exactly as you see it. And this is an area that you can go ahead and check out. Again, it's called Freeman Farms, and it's by KB Homes, which is a new development area, as you can see. I don't think I have to say that. And now you're probably thinking, well, now you have an idea of Youngsville in itself, of what it necessarily can provide for you, yourself, your family. You also have an idea of what homes, or at least an area of homes that you can take a look at. Now you're probably wondering, well, what about the schooling? Because I know that's one of the key important things. And here's a school that is extremely close to where we were just at in Freeman Farms. And because it took me out, I'll go ahead and do this for you, so you guys can see how close you are to one of the schools nearby. Now, I believe this is, if I'm not mistaken, this is a private school. So obviously, if it's private, you gotta pay for it. You gotta cough up the coins for this one. But it literally looks like a college campus. I was like, man, those schools got it. Those kids got it really good. Let's see if I can show you guys. Come on, why are you sending me all the way over here? But yeah, I was like, yeah, those kids got it really good. Let's see if I can get you guys as close as possible, because that would be really cool if I can. So you guys could really see it for yourself. And yes, we did. We got it. It's definitely not gonna let us go inside of it, but let's just go down this route. And you can see this right there. So like I said, it looks like a college campus. So these kids are lucky. I was happy to say that. But let's just say that's not what you're looking for. You actually don't want to put your kids through a private school. While we were at Letty Park, that name is funny. There's actually, as you can see here, you have the elementary school. Let's try to do it again. Let's pull my little guy out of here. And let's plant them right in front of the school so you guys can see. You literally have the schools all right here. There's the schooling for you. There's the homes. There's some things that you can do. Not only things you can do in Youngsville, but also if you need to go outside of Youngsville, you'll have that as well. So I hope this was extremely helpful with giving you some understanding of why some individuals may be moving to Youngsville. And I'm gonna honestly say it could be as simple as people just want out of the big city and just want to be a little bit further away, where they can have a little bit more, maybe peace of quiet, maybe a little bit more land. Maybe they're going over there because of the affordability. I don't know. It could be several different things. But I will say one of the things that I believe a lot of people are moving to, they're just getting out of the city, looking for something that's more cost efficient to their budget, what it is that they're looking for. And Youngsville just happens to be one of those up and coming growing areas that has attracted a lot of individuals. So just as much as I enjoy making these videos, you guys know that I am a licensed realtor, and I would love nothing more but to be able to assist you on any of your relocation needs. So that number that is popping up right there, make sure to give me a call, shoot me a text, email, day or night, heck, maybe even on the weekends. Always remember one thing: I got your back in this market.